Hey guys, Daniel Carmi here for another episode of Minecraft Law, Listen and Watch. So here, this episode, last episode I finished building all these towers, and this episode I'm going to be building the walls between them to make this a walled city. So first thing I'm going to have to do is get rid of all of these trees in the way of the wall. So I'm probably going to be speeding this up. You know what? Instead of doing that, I'm going to have some more interesting stuff in this episode, and I'm just going to go back into MC Edit, the program we all know and love, or some of you probably hate it, but I'm going back into MC Edit, and I'm just going to actually MC Edit away the trees over here. Alright, so I'm back in MC Edit, and let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go from here to, let me go over here. It takes a while for the world to load in MC Edit, but that's alright. Go over to this one here, and I'm going to go like this and select all the leaves and trees in between, but I'm not selecting the actual towers itself. You know what? I'm actually gonna go out a little further and select with the fill option log. How is it called? Maybe wood, and I'm gonna replace it with 0, which is air. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with leaves. Excuse me. And I'm also going to replace it with 0, which is air. And now, my voice kind of wobbled back there. And now, all of the trees of that kind are gone. Now the birch trees are still here because birch is different. So I'm actually going to do the same for birch now. So birch wood, I'm going to replace with air. And leaves for birch, I'm also going to replace with air. And so now I have a clear path between my two towers, and I don't think I cleared pine, but that's alright. There's not enough pine for me to waste my time. I'll just mine it in the game itself. So now I use MC Edit for that, and this might be the last episode in where I'm not in survival. It might not be. But let's go back into Minecraft. Alright, so I'm back in Minecraft, and you can see where I cleared all of these trees, which is going to make it much easier for me. Now let me, I understand that the reason that these trees didn't clear because they were decaying, and leaves which are decaying have a different item ID, so they didn't get deleted. That's alright. Now I think how I'm going to build this wall is cobblestone with log supports and wood details. And what I'm thinking of doing is, let me actually just build one piece of the wall to show you what I'm thinking of making it like. So I'm actually going to make this piece here. And when I switch into survival mode, I'm not going to be using MC Edit anymore. So if you don't like me using MC Edit, that's also something that's just for the first few episodes. So let me make this. Actually, I think let me just shut off rain. And So I'm gonna make a small piece of the wall. Actually, I think that's too big. I'm gonna make just the bottom half of the wall, a 1 block thick piece of cobblestone, and then what I'm going to do is go outwards like this, so it becomes 3 thick by putting one of this on each side. So I'm also going to do that on this side. It's kind of tedious, but whatever. And now I'm going to continue up with this. Maybe the top is going to have a walkway in between. So this is going to be like this, with this little path in the middle, which is going to be somewhere where I can walk to get from place to place. And I don't know if I'm going to make it joining into the tower itself, like you can walk from one side into the tower. And then at the top, did that apple just pop out of thin air? Or maybe a leaf decayed and it dropped it, I don't know, whatever. And then I'm going to come up here and make this. So I do have this walkway like thing. Let me actually get some torches. So I have this already. And then I'm going to, every once in a while, I don't know how often, is this a tree? Let me just break down these leaves. I'm going to make a log support beam holding the side of the castle, the side of the wall. So like, let's say here, I'm going to put one of these, then go over to the other side in the same place and do the same thing. And continue doing that along the wall. Maybe, let's see how often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on the 10th one I'll do it. So 9 spaces in between, because on the 10th one is where I do it again. So let me actually fill this in more. So here I have another set of supports, which look like this. And then at the top, I'm going to have a layer of wooden half slabs like this. Well, a trim that you're going to be walking on the cobblestone itself. And this is going to be a pain to place. So something like this. And I think that looks like a pretty cool wall. And then now I'm going to go back into MC Edit and once again copy this across. Actually, before I do that, I think this would actually, wait 1 second, let me just eat this. That it might look better if on the places where we have logs coming up, that we might actually instead have actually the logs continue up and then a torch on each log, and then that'll also light it up and be pretty decorative. I have torches in my inventory already, so something like this. And then that is going to be my idea for the wall. I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know in the comments if you want me to change anything. I mean, you can't tell me to change in the video, but small minor adjustments that I might be able to make in future videos, make sure you tell me those. So another apple. Where are these apples coming from? Do they drop from decaying trees now? Oh well. So I am going to actually clear this so I have a straight path for under the tree when I MC edit this. Let's see, it's 5 wide, so I need to also take this away. I'm just going to try to make it as nice as I can in the MC editing process. I'm actually just going to clear it and make it nice between these two pillars, because this section in the middle is completely tileable, which means if you take the same thing and duplicate it and place it back to back, it'll nicely smooth onto the next one, because this is one section of it, which means that this from this to this is going to be what I'm going to tile. And the reason that I did what I just did was so that in MC Edit I don't copy the grass along with it. And so now I'm going to copy this across, and when I get to the middle here, it's going to be higher. It's going to increase to maybe this height around here and finish off ending up around there. So I'm going to leave Minecraft once more, and I'll see you in MC Edit. Alright, so I'm back in MC Edit, and where did the castle go? So here I have the path with no trees on it. So I'm going to go here and select the section here where it tiles nicely, and I'm actually also going to select this, and then I'm going to copy it. I just realized that I didn't select the torches, but that's alright. And let's see, if I repeat it 5 times, it'll come to here. So that seems pretty good. So now you can see my wall is already stretching across. And I'm also going to fill in that dirt there so it doesn't look horrible. Now I'm going to select it again and go down and select all the way to the bottom. Let's see if I can get this nicely. And I'm gonna copy it across again, but this time I'm going to move it up to where it looks good. Keep it on the straight path. Copy it up until where it looks good and leave 9 blocks in between. So in between I can make a section where it actually transfers. So this would be lining up perfectly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then up until it looks like it matches up nicely, and clone. And now from this I can clone it all the way across like I did the other one, and repeat, let's say 5 times, that's too much, 4 times, clone it, and the rest I'm gonna work on in Minecraft itself. Alright, so I'm back in Minecraft, and it seems like it hovers a little bit around here, but I pretty much got exactly what I wanted it to do. So now that I have this, I'm going to make this kind of like a transfer section, transition section. Let me get this down. Try to get it to line up as well as I can. and this is going to come up and looks pretty good. Now to tile it, to make the little edges on it. Did I do something wrong there? Oh yeah, this didn't come up here. And so this looks like a pretty good transfer section. Now I'm going to make it come up. So let me try to make this as nice as possible. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put the roof on it. And the trim. Actually, you know what? I think where it goes up a level, it would be better if it has wooden stairs instead of wooden half slabs. So that way it blends nicely. So let me look for some wooden stairs. And where's wooden half steps? Here. So let me put stairs on these edges. And take them off. Let me now layer these with half steps. And I think that's pretty good for the transfer section. I like the walls a lot. I think it looks pretty cool. Now let me just put the torches on them. And the other side I have to work on. And I think that's going to be it. I'm also going to obviously do for the other 3 sides. But you got the idea for how I'm going to do them. So I'm probably going to do those all off camera. Just so this episode isn't like forever. And also it's going to make it easier for me. Yeah, this last section here we're gonna have to build, but I like the idea, and I like how there's 2 paths on the thing, the one inside the wall and the one on top of the wall. And I'm gonna try, and what's good about this is since it extends out, spiders can't climb this wall, and since the towers also lift out at the ends, spiders can't climb that either. So the entire thing is spider proof, and it's nice and even, which I like. But I'm gonna have to fix this here where it hovers. Is that the only place it hovers? Looks like it. So let's see how this is gonna look. Can't reach it. That sucks. Alright, so put this here. That looks like it's the only place where it hovers. Maybe on the other side I see something different. Let me just fix this up with more cobblestone. Also, something I like about this texture pack, which is the OCD pack by FV Disco. I like it because it takes away an ugly texture from cobblestone, because cobblestone in the default texture pack looks extremely ugly, but in this texture pack it actually looks like something you can use to design with. So I think also later on I'm gonna be using different kinds of woods, not only the plain log, even though it is my favorite kind, but I don't think I'm gonna be using birch, because in my opinion birch is pretty ugly unless you're using it for white. That you need something whitish, blackish in pixel art, like the eye of a animal, of a chicken or something like that. That's like pretty much the only thing that I could find to use for birch for, or for a farm, which I'm gonna turn into planks. But other than that, birch seems pretty ugly and useless to me. So let me build up this wall here. I hope this is 9 or less than 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, I'm not going to put the extra strut because it's going to have to touch the castle itself, and I don't like that. So yeah, so I'm going to finish this wall with this last section here, and then I'm going to finish the rest of them off camera, because it's pretty much all the same. This is actually one of the harder ones because it goes through trees and through and over a bumpy area, but like here you can see it's mostly flat. This is gonna go over water though, so I don't know how I'm gonna tackle that, but you're gonna see, because I'm not just gonna fix it and then end the episode. I'm actually gonna show you after it what it looks like. So tell me what you think about the design of the wall. I think it looks pretty cool. I find it kind of tiring that most of people's walls are that simple 1 block thick wall with the spikes on the top, or 1 block thick wall with the 3 block thick platform on the top with spikes on the sides. I think making it kind of get wider at the top and thinner at the bottom, and these struts every once in a while really gives it like its unique sense of style, that it's not like every other wall ever made. And I'm going to try to fill the series with a lot of stuff like that, a lot of unique stuff that you probably don't see many places. So let me finish up this. And I think I'm going to put some torches here. But I think that's pretty sick. And I actually like this wall a lot. That's a pretty cool piece of land. This overhang there. And how it kind of bends with the earth, with the ground, is pretty cool. So yeah, that's 1 wall of the 3 done, and I'm going to finish the other 3, and I'll see you when I'm finished. Alright guys, I finished the wall, and it goes from all 4 towers between, and I did line them up perfectly, so everything worked out nicely. This is the first wall that we made. Let me just give you a look around with this incline here. As you can see, I also changed this to make it nicer with these stairs instead of just solid blocks, so you can actually walk up nicely. Comes to this tower, which continues, and I did some what's it called, landscaping, but on a big scale. Terraforming. I did some terraforming here, so it's a nice path for this to follow, and whenever it goes over water, the bottom stops at the water, but these support struts go down to the bottom of the floor, because mobs can't always try to swim up, so they won't be able to get under this, but I can. So it continues along here. I found a ravine here, which I'm probably going to be able to use in future. Continues here to this pillar or this tower, which goes here all the way across here, and here's a lot of flat area, which I'm going to use for something later in this video. Continues here, same idea. The stone stops at the water level, but the struts continue down, which I think looks pretty cool. Same here. Here it gets deep, so here you can see it more. The struts continue down, but the stone leaves, and it continues up till here, and then we come back to where we started. Now, if you watched my videos, you'll know that I made a very cool portcullis gate. Oh, and by the way, one of the good advantages to having this wall early on is that my villagers won't escape, and that way I can use them later on for something of whatever I pick. So I made a portcullis, which is a very, very cool gate, and I'm planning on making one right here. I made a video about it, so if you search, I think Minecraft retractable piston gate by Daniel Carmi 305, you'll find that video, and I show you how to make one. So I think I'm gonna make one right here, and it's going to be on this section here, and it's gonna be the entrance to my city. So let me head into MC Edit. Alright, so I'm back in MC Edit, and first I'm gonna clear this area of the actual gate. And you can see I have this here. Now I'm going to make the place underground where I'm gonna hide all the redstone. So I'm gonna give a decent size. So let's say this big. And that seems just about good. So now I have this big area down here for all my redstone. So first I'm going to start with making the frame, which of course, as everything else, is going to be cobblestone. So let's say just around here looks good. Alright, after a lot of tweaking, I finally finished the mechanism for the door. Actually, let me put another button here. It's all underground and hidden, and I can cover this up here. Everything from here and on. I can't cover these 2 blocks because that'll cut off the circuit, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to build up. And this is basically all it does for now. Either one of these buttons will push gravel up 3 blocks and then pull it back down. Let me get some food. And then pull it back down. And both buttons do the same thing because they're hooked up to the same wire. And that is the 90% done of the gate. Now what I'm going to do is make basically another one that pushes down and doesn't have to retract, and then I'm going to put fences in between and the gate is going to be done. I have a lot of it visualized in my head, so you probably don't, you likely don't understand what I'm talking about, but trust me, it is going to be really cool when I'm done. See, the power didn't reach the last one. Now it should. Yeah. Perfect. Now I have to just seal it up and I'm done. Alright, so I am done with this. It took a while and it was pretty difficult, but I think at the end it looks pretty nice. So this is how it works. You open it with this button, and you walk across and close it with this button. Or when you're coming in, you open it with the left. You always open it with the left, no matter which direction you're coming from. And you always close. Oh no, never mind. If you're coming, you open with the right. If you're leaving the city, you open with the right and close with the left. And if you're entering the city, it's the other way around. So I did this episode, the walls and the gate. And I think today will be a pretty long episode. And I don't think I'm gonna make the path coming because that's gonna take way too long. And the episode is long as is. So thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye.